Sorry. Those were his last words.
Yeah. Name of Line Productions. Destiny Lab Collabo. CeeLo's Beat. Stress Studios 24/7. Let's get 'em.
Some people flee and some people fight. There's some that will stand, defend what is right. There's others who run, cower and hide. Despite all the evidence that's been supplied, there's a war over truth, the greatest divide. There's a line in the sand, now where will you side? There's no reason to fear, with Christ on our side. The wide or the narrow path, time to decide.
Call themselves gods and erected this dark tower, but now their brightest moment shall become their darkest hour. They wanted people to kneel and cower like they got the power, but my God got the power higher than the highest tower. They shall crumble and cower like the Tower of Babel. My God owns a cattle on 1,000 hills. They can rattle and tattle. The Holy Spirit will still overshadow like the day of Pentecost or Aslan in the last battle.
One God, one Christ, God on the flesh, man. Sent from above, second dad on the cleanse, man. Trampled the serpent, flooded the earth, destroyed and purged all the blood from the Nephilim curse. At the moment, Noah first stepped foot on the dirt. It began all again toward Babylon's birth. Through our time, it emerges, even in church, to divert mankind, so we must be alert. There's a struggle deep inside, a spiritual fight, a battle for souls between darkness and light. Deep inside every one of us and all of our lives, sin is grinding like sleight of hand to mesmerize, but we're wise to the plan and schemes that they devise. Nothing's new, recognize it's the same disguise. Evil fallen ones wearing new skins and hides. We deny them through Christ, access denied.
Trying to set free all of these captive borders. Read your Bible, that's the captain's orders. Got the mind of Christ, that's the captain's quarters. Now you're safe within the captain's borders. My God's plan sit higher than Spider-Man. Rip the scales off of the Leviathan. You can call the lizard man, the entire Hydra clan. My God will still expire them. We're a little sharper than a two-edged sword, a proton blast by Iron Man.
No throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Hello, it's me. Dancing along. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. Hi guys, it's Thursday and I'm kind of testing out the internet. It's not looking great. It's a little bit yellow and it's dropping some frames, but hopefully for you guys it doesn't look like anything. I hope it looks still smooth to you and it's rendering nice and clear and no buffering, but you'll tell me. Oh, I just went green. I said a little prayer and Doc Michael says he's praying, which I appreciate, because tomorrow, if you recall, Mr. Gary Wayne, who I just had on, we had a great hour-and-a-half long discussion, and I had the nicest compliment today. Somebody told me that I asked great questions, and I'm like, thank you, because this is a guy who knows so much, and sometimes you think, what do I ask him? Like, sometimes it's easy, the questions just come, because, I'm reading his 800-page book, but honestly haven't gotten that far into it, so I was glad that I had enough questions to keep the conversation going. However, he's just a wealth of knowledge. So he's going to be on live with me tomorrow evening, I believe 7 p.m. my time, which would be 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern. If not, it's going to be 6 my time, and so just subtract an hour from what I just said. He's going to be live to answer your questions. So if you got questions that you want to ask him specifically, that will be tomorrow night. So, pray for my internet. I just deleted a bunch of stuff off of my computer, and you might say, why? Because some of that stuff seems to get in the way as well of what I'm doing. It seems to cause some of the problems with the buffering because of the CPU that my streaming software works. And you're like, what's that? Don't worry about it. Who knows? Who cares? It's the computer. It's just the computer and how much memory it has. And I did get a terabyte drive, so that has made a big difference. But remembering to save stuff to that terabyte drive. It's B-Tech, woo! In the house, his house. So I'm hoping my friend Amanda comes on. I don't know if she will, but I was talking to her on the Facebook, and she is she is an awesome chick, and she is part of 7K Metals, and I also invited her to the Discord channel, so I hope she comes to both this video. It's Hubu Jones, woo, in his house. Anyway, if we see an Amanda pop in, give her a really nice warm welcome, because she's a good friend of mine who moved away from here, and she's a little homesick, and I said, well, you know what? Join the Discord. Join my peeps here. They're good people. We keep each other on a higher note. You guys let me vent to you. You guys let me complain. And then you don't say, geez, Aaron, you should count your blessings. You actually pray for me in that. And I think that is, man, I'm super blessed. I am super blessed. So, with that being said, I'm not going to talk about much. I'm kind of just testing my internet. I wanted to see how things go. I do have some things to talk about, so don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Okay, I do want to talk about some things. Do I have that on display? What are we on here? Oh, I am on display. I need to change that. Oh, how did that happen? Display. We don't want display. We want the website. Window capture. The display isn't on. What? Let me fix this. This is when you gotta figure out if things aren't doing correctly. You'd hope it'd be before, you went live, but there we go. Aha! That's what I wanted you guys to see. Okay. Now, I know that a lot of people kind of take off when they start hearing about the business and the gold and the silver. It seems to drop this viewer number like in half. Don't go anywhere. I'm just mentioning a raffle. I spent a lot of time talking about this last night. I wish people would pay attention and take it seriously. I know that B-Tech certainly has, and Rockman has, and some of the others in here maybe. I can't remember who all is in here, but I know that some of you have asked good questions about it, so that's all right. I just want to mention I have a raffle open, so if you want spots, it's 2 1964 Kennedy $half and a full ounce of pure 0.999 silver. So the Kennedy ones are 0.900 and the round is 0.9999. So that's really almost 2 ounces or something. I mean, I don't weigh the $half, but they're like, the $half was a half silver dollar. So it's like a half ounce.
Kitty!
Saoirse, don't yell, please. It's kind of rougher with school not being in anymore. But then again, at least they're not doing Common Core. I want to pull this up. My good friend Marvel, who just did join the Discord, sent me this article. Does the flu shot increase 19 risk? Yes, and other interesting questions. Okay, so does the flu shot increase the risk for this infection? It increases the risk for infection, not just a positive test. Could a new vaccine be partly responsible for this mortality rate in Italy? Yes. Is the rush to the best solution? Of course not. How does SARS, infect, and our protease enzyme supplements the key to creating our own endogenous antiviral protease inhibitors? Yes, I believe so. You're like, what the heck is that? It's all medical, don't worry. Are there certain medications like blood pressure drugs and proton pump inhibitors that can increase the risk for infection? That's a good thing, a good question. That's a good question. Proton pump inhibitors are what people take for their, everybody's taking them for their indigestion. So, yeah, don't take those anymore. They're hard to get off of. Is it chloroquine or is it zinc that is working as a possible aid in treating this? Strong case can be made for zinc. Well, dang it, I just bought a bunch of vitamin D, vitamin C, and selenium. Of course, it's zinc. Hopefully selenium is like zinc or something, but I don't know, right? Can plant polyphenols and flavonoids act to increase the antiviral effects of zinc? Yes, and they possess other benefits. Anyway, this is an article that goes through how does the flu shot actually increase infection? There's evidence that influenza specifically increase the risk of this infection. Here is why. A phenomenon known as virus interference. Yes, it appears that the flu shot protects against influenza and appears some other types of viruses as well, but it comes at a price of actually increasing the risk for the virus infection. That is exactly what is studied that compared the respiratory, because I'm British now, okay, respiratory virus status among 2880 Department of Defense personnel based on the influenza vaccine status demonstrated. The study conducted in vaccine-derived virus interference was significantly associated with the CV. And could a new be responsible for high mortality rate in Italy? In case you're not aware, the infection rate and mortality rate in Italy to this is dramatically higher. Why? Well, the standard answers of an elderly population and the failure to implement social distancing soon enough just don't explain what is happening. My colleague, Dr. Alex, not mine, this guy's, Dr. Alex Vasquez, provided me with a valuable insight. In September 2019, Italy rolled out an entirely new type of for influenza. This one, called the VIQ-CC, is different than others. Most available of these are produced in embryonated chicken eggs. This one, however, is produced from cultured animal cells rather than eggs and has more of a quote-unquote boost to the immune system as a result. And this VIQ-CC also contains 4 types of viruses, type 2 type A, H1N1 and H3N2, and 2 type B. It looks like this super vaccine impacted the immune system. I just said the word anyway. Why have I been trying not to say it? I knew I was going to do it. I always mess up, doesn't matter. In such a way to increase this CV through virus interference that set the stage for what happened in Italy. Now, can I prove exactly what they're saying on here? Not 100%, but it's worth looking at. Better leave that note in the comments under the raffle posting. What's that? Oh, the Cash App or mail-in? Yeah, it's on there. Let me show you guys real quick since you mentioned it. It's on here. It says right here, if you want to get a spot, you need to use Cash App with this username, because there's no other platform that's allowing to do money, or you can send me a check, which my address is in my about. My mailing address is right here. P.O. Box 22992, Billings, Montana 59104. So, there you go. It's not easy anymore. But that's just how it goes. It could be worse, right? I'm not going to complain, I guess. Hold on, I can try to make that bigger. There, that should be bigger. Hopefully I'm not sounding too loud, too quiet, or scratchy. I noticed that I was scratching a lot when I was talking to Gary Wayne, so I'm going to have to do something different. The way I hold this microphone. I had it attached to me because it's what you call a lapel mic, but is the rush to the best solution? Of course, we know it's not. How do these infect or protease enzyme supplements the key to creating our... Let's see what this says. The virus contains surface proteins that bind to receptors for angiotensin converting enzyme 2, ACE2, as the entry receptor. This is why right here they would be talking about blood pressure meds having an effect. These receptors are found not only on the blood vessels, but also throughout the lining of the respiratory tract and lungs. The virus then uses the host cell's serine protease to break down proteins in the viral and cellular membranes to fuse them together to form a bridge to allow the virus to enter the cell. Antiviral drugs that are serine protease inhibitor are showing promise by blocking the entry into the cells, especially those that line, I don't know if they're going to tell me which ones those are. Dietary supplements that contain proteases such as mucilase, serratia peptidase, bromelain, and fungal protease exert significantly benefit in upper respiratory tract infections by improving the composition and structure of the protective mucus layer. I need names of drugs, or this is just going to make me like zone out. Okay. Let's get to this. Are there medications like blood pressure drugs and proton pump inhibitors? Yes, the body responds to ACE inhibitor drugs, which are going to be your blood pressure ones, used in treatment of high blood pressure by increasing the ACE2 receptors on cells. This is important if you're on blood pressure meds that are ACE inhibitors. With an increase in ACE2 receptors, there are more entry points or doors that this can enter. Now, this is so good, guys, because this explains why some elderly people might be more apt to get this and suffer from it. And that's something I need to tell my mom, actually, because I think she's probably on an ACE2 or something. And there's lots of different ones that you can get. You know, there's beta blockers and ARBs. I don't know if the ARBs count with this or not. But anyway, I think it skips that ACE2 lung thing, so it really shouldn't. In fact, there's other blood pressure pills somebody could take in this time. Also, these proton pump inhibitors like Nexium, Prilosec, Protonix, please don't. Prevacid and Acifex, I would recommend just getting off of those entirely because those are so hard to get off of, but apparently they increase and this is a lot of older people again, and it can increase this infection and attacks the lungs by increasing the secondary route of access. Anyway, to find out how, you can read more on that. Don't want to do that. Anyway, if you guys find this interesting, I'll drop the link. It's something worth noting that these are 2 drugs that elderly people would be on more often than young people. But well, I did drop a frame, so that might be why it's skipping. But anyway, it looks like I'm boring people, so I can see that the viewership is dropping. And I just seem to do that every time now. I'm not getting any views. I'm not sure if it's just me or the notifications, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But tomorrow Gary Wayne will be on, and he's definitely interesting, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy that a lot more. So I do hope you'll check it out tomorrow night. Otherwise, I didn't really have anything else to talk about, except for I do have job openings. If you're looking for a job, you need money, you're worried about, if you're worried about, how you're going to make it through this, guys, I'm not joking that I can help you make money in this. But you got to let me help you. And there's ways of doing that, and it's hard for me to reach out to everybody. I mean, I've signed up some 50 people, and I'm trying to reach out to some of you guys, and you know that. It's certainly, it's not buffering. I'm green on my end, so if it's buffering, refresh. But anyway, I'm trying to help anyone who wants the help to do this. This is a real legitimate job with real legitimate health insurance and other benefits that I think you guys, need to get in on. So anyway, I don't know. It's working on my end, but even though it's green over here, then I guess it's not good for you guys. I don't know. That's pretty weird. I've got the green light on mine, but the problem is if you don't refresh, sometimes things can happen. I've got a dropped frame. I don't know, every 2 minutes basically, I'm dropping one frame, but that shouldn't look like anything to you guys. So, all right, well, I hope you guys have a blessed night, and my kids are being so loud. I'm just going to pray off alone when it's quieter over everything. Pray for my friend Amanda. Pray for her, just, being without her friends and family the way she's used to, and in this lockdown with no one that she really knows and no one to talk to. Hopefully she'll join the Discord. And thank you for putting that link in there. And then Cash App, I'm sure, is available on any phone. Absolutely, it works for everybody. So it shouldn't just be iOS, because a lot of people are using it to do this. So anyway, also you can pray for all of us that are, frustrated, but pray for me to do well to teach my kids and not get irritated with them, and to spend better time on what they need to learn and get good at that. And also another thing I want to tell you guys, I spent a lot of time building a fence out of pallets. It's just a tiny little fence that goes around my garden, and I've been ordered by the city to take it down. So I was really angry that day that I got that letter, and they might work with me, I doubt it, but there's just this rule that you cannot use pallets, even though they look really nice. I mean, I got all the same height ones. I filled them in where they were gapped, and so it's like perfectly evenly spaced, except for maybe 2 spots. And I have to pull the whole thing down after I put it up because it goes against city code. Somebody probably had to report me for that to happen, but maybe my neighbors who get mad at me when their dog poops in my yard. It could have been them, or it might not have been anybody, but they came around, took pictures of my house, which made me feel a little uncomfortable. And they sent pictures of them to me and said, you got to take this down. So anyway, if I don't, I get in a lot of trouble. It's not my house. I'm renting. Yeah, just frustrating. A lot of work, but it's okay. Certainly worse things could happen. But anyway, I say anyway a lot right now. Tomorrow, 6 or 7, I think it's 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Think of some questions for Gary, guys. I know it's fun to chat with each other, but we're doing this live to get questions from you guys, to specifically get your questions. And I'm going to pray that my kids are just angels, because they're not being very good for me tonight. But hopefully you guys don't hear them. This mic doesn't really pick up other noise as well as the last mic, so we'll see. Yeah, I don't have any other use for these pallets. I've got no place to store them. I've got nothing I can do with them, so yeah, that's just the way it goes. All right, I'm going to close out with a song. Hopefully you guys will listen to it, because I usually try to pick something fun and good. And I love you guys. I'm going to be praying for you. If you have any prayer requests, send them in the Discord or email me. I'll always pray for you guys. Or if you want me to call you and pray with you on the phone, I'll do it. So, all right, my kids are getting too loud. Gotta go. Love you. Bye.
Six senses like the spiritual scientist. I'm more like the alchemist. It's like working on your consciousness. Star nations are against the cabal. Intergalactic wars are solar signs from Venus, Saturn to Mars. The upgrades of humanoids, 11 universal laws, 7 human seeds with terrestrial genes. Biological field is greater than golden eagle. 0-point energy diet theory when I start my sequel. The Eisenhower counters of the watches. The symbol of ambient energy fields. Etheric Tesla shields. Indigo crystalline seeds. ADD attention deficit disorders, really not a disease. Arrow pills and arrow outlets. Idols and doctrines is Babylon. It's when I start my topic. The star pizza command. The star scholars, Darwinism, evolution of the fossil resin, giving man confusion. I think they're here trying to help to provide some protection against the planets that consist in Orion's belt. Mechanical movement from graves, space suits from the demons to make travel through domains in space. Willing left and behind, they convicted in the grind. The justice of mortal sins, the path to break the paradigm. Moving in the age of lifetime. Crystal superstar seeds are made up from evil scientists. I gotta expect economy, close encounter, cultural therapists. Engineering, genetics, really not helping us. Now we all stand up and stand. To the globe, to the world, universe, we are the astral command.
Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Who is the master of this astral being your channeling? He speaks of peace by removing all duality. Aligns himself with astrology satanically. He mimics truth to attribute lies to prophecy. There's no consistency except with demonology. He's your philosophies or alien technologies. Study the names and the symbols that they're borrowing. They're all just following an ancient masquerade. Like Rael and Billy Meyer and the dead from Heaven's Gate. Examine all the plans from the astral command. They demand evolution and ascension of man. These fallen angels are the masters of deception. They teach enlightenment from dark evil dimensions. They'll claim the rapture is a mass evacuation. Aquarian, 2012 reptilian invasion. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, take me to your leader. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, take me to your leader. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace.
A renegade searching for the way, for the place. Time travel through the space. Where's the gate? No delays. Turn the key. Vortex energy faster than a rocket shooting up the sky. Are we finally free? Can't breathe. First responders last of the breed. Surviving 9/11. It was definitely an inside job. If you think that I'm wrong, that's only because you're scared. Walking like a robot, taking orders, dead stare. Twin towers building 7 sacrificial side. Pillars opening a portal, ritualistic death on sight. Astronauts have been taking pictures of the rise. Could you believe they had it all planned right on time? We need to realize and be aware of the fact those running this planet came from another track. Secret societies, shape-shifting snakes, invading, enslaving, microchip, killing our race. Ya basta, ya no mas. The fight is on, battle of the minds. Who the thought this is our song? Revolutionary, evolutionary times. Read about it, be about it, write about it, dream about it. Full steam ahead, all engines go. Uniting the world, rescuing every single soul. It's never too late to take back what we own, what we've been given since our birthday.
Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, take me to your leader. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace. Take me to your leader, take me to your leader. Take me to your leader, then I'll tell you if I come in peace.